What's going on, boxing fans? It's Julian Williams with The Distance. I'm here to do another prediction video. This one's for the IBF title light middleweight championship eliminator between Sechew Powell and Deandre Lattimore. 200. Actually, it's a rematch. 254-pound fighters, contenders. One actually fought for the IBF light middleweight championship last year against Corey Spinks. The other guy, Powell, has been waiting for was actually waiting for a championship shot against Spinks, and it didn't happen because Lattimore derailed him in the first fight. In the first fight, I'm not even sure if you can see the first fight as an upset or not, because how I look at it, Sechew Powell, does not really have that good defense, and on top of that, he had a loss to Kasim Uma early in his career. Uma, still a good fighter, good veteran fighter. Lost to Kasim Uma and had a very close matchup with Sechew Smith. Sechew Smith gave him a tough bout, and Smith was a pretty good welterweight, solid welterweight contender at one time. But Powell, I guess with Powell's a good boxer, but at the same time, he was beating B-level opponents. His whole career was just defeating B-level opponents, and made a name for himself defeating B-level opponents. One match that's always going to stand out to me for Powell is the match against Bunridge, when both of them got knocked down at the same time, and then he got up and knocked out Bunridge. That was a pretty good 1 or 30-second matchup, whatever. But Powell, now I don't know if he's working with McGirt anymore or not, but Powell, Sechew Powell has a real bad, like I said, has really bad defense. He gets caught with wide shots, easily. Deandre Lattimore throws a lot of wide shots, and he was actually able to land. He was landing a lot of left hands on him, and the left hand is one of Lattimore's best punches. I've seen Lattimore fight a few times, so and I noticed that he's a big puncher. He's pretty much a big puncher, and he could hurt you with any shot. But the wide left and the wide right hook, are his main shots. Because he does throw a lot of wide shots. But in the first matchup, Powell was standing right in front of Lattimore. Was just standing right in front of him. And getting hit. Powell's not an inside fighter, so I guess that's pretty much what was gonna happen. If he fought a guy that could fight on the inside, catch you with some good shots, and end it, by stoppage. But anyway, on to this fight. Eliminated bout for Sechew Powell. Powell needs to stay in the outside this fight. Powell, who throws a lot of jabs, throws a lot of right jabs and left jabs. Intends to kind of move around the ring quite a bit. This fight, he has to really stay out of range from Lattimore. Powell has to stay on the outside. He has to jab and use his foot, and use a lot of footwork in this fight. Use angles, create a lot of space in this fight. Because if he stays up close to Lattimore, it's going to be like the last fight. Lattimore is going to land a lot of left and right hands on him. So and other than that, I think when Lattimore comes in on the inside, I think that Powell needs to kind of land the right hook. Time him coming in. Like what a lot of boxers should do when inside fighters come in. Powell, like I said, needs to really work on his defense. Because he always, in his whole career has gotten caught with a lot of, big shots. Doesn't really have the best defense. He got caught by a few shots by Terrence Cawthon. He got caught by Sechew Smith. He got caught by Lattimore in the last fight. and Umar, these guys, and Bummers, these guys have caught, were able to catch Powell. They were able to catch him, because his defense is not that good. So I do think that if with his defense, the fact that he does really need to tighten up his defense a bit and not be susceptible to right and left hands, and wide shots in general, I just think that he just really needs to make it an outside fight as much as possible. Deandre Lattimore wants to stay as close as possible to Powell. Powell is about 30 years old, and I think his career's been about 8 years now. His career's been for about 8 years, and in 8 years, if your defense looks the way that his does, if you get caught with a lot of shots, at like 30 years old, and as a boxer, and if you have a new trainer like Buddy McGirt or whoever that's supposed to help you get better with your skill and stuff, and you still can't master down your defense that well, then I just think that Deandre Lattimore needs to stay on the inside and just do what he did the last fight. Stay close, land his shots. But I think in this fight with Deandre Lattimore, I think that he really needs to maintain a high volume of punches. But we saw in the Spinks fight that Lattimore kind of gassed out towards the end. So honestly, I do think he needs to maintain a high work rate against Powell, and on top of that, I think Lattimore needs to. I think countering would do a lot of justice for Lattimore in this fight if he counters, because if he catches Powell with a shot he doesn't see, more than likely he'll knock him out. A lot of people think that Powell quit in the last fight. I'm not sure if he did or not. I just think that as many left hands were landing on him, the referee should have stopped it or whatever, because it was getting to that point where he couldn't fight back. But I do think that Lattimore needs to just stay close and pretty much do what he did the last fight to win. And I keep referring back to Powell's defense, and that's really what lost in that fight against Lattimore, was his defense. The fact that his defense wasn't, his defensive guard was not too good. Was what lost him that fight. Honestly, this fight, I'm gonna go with. For some reason, I'm gonna go with Deandre Lattimore in this fight. Usually boxer versus puncher. Most of the time I go with the boxer. Sometimes I go with the puncher. It depends. But me, I'm gonna go with Deandre Lattimore by a unanimous decision. I think that Lattimore will land the more effective shots. I think he'll land the cleaner shots. I think that the judges are gonna see Lattimore's effective shots compared to Powell's little jabs and stuff that he throws, because he does like to throw jabs quite often. He throws a lot of jabs. So I'm gonna go with Deandre Lattimore by unanimous decision in this fight. But anyway, that was the distance. Thanks for watching. Peace.